Hi kids, I am so excited to share today's activity with you. Today we're going to do a craft and we're going to make these lovely jam jar lanterns to brighten up our home in the winter time. So here are some that I have been very busy making and I'll show you the different ideas that I've done. This one I covered with lots of stars, different colour stars. This one is squares of colour that I cut out and stuck all over the jar, and I think it looks great. This one I just did a plain pink background with some purple stars. Nice simple one there. This one is houses, like a street at night time with little windows and little roofs. And this one I just did a simple design again, plain colour, just did white with some white Christmas trees, and I think that looks lovely. It looks a bit like a snowy scene. And this one is empty, so we're going to do this one together and I'm going to show you how to do it. So what you'll need to make your lantern is you will need a jam jar that's empty, clean and the label removed, and you will need lots of different coloured tissue paper like I've got here. You don't actually need as many colours as I have. Even if you just had one colour, you could still make a lovely lantern. You could use green, some pink, some lovely blue colour. Oh, what's this? This looks like the letter T. Well, I don't know what that is doing in my tissue paper. We don't need that to make the lantern. Orange, purple, what else? You also need some glue, some PVA glue, and a brush to paint the glue on the lantern. And I'm going to put my glue in this pot that I got from the recycling, and you could use a yogurt pot or a piece of cardboard. It doesn't matter because you'll just throw it away at the end. And some scissors to cut out the tissue paper, and you might need a pen if you want to draw some shapes. And that's it. Okay, now we are ready to start making our lantern. Now, what design shall I do on this one? I think I'll do the houses design. So I'll show you how to do that. Now, before we start painting glue all over the lantern, I think we should cut out our shapes first so that we've got everything ready. Now, if you want to make the houses, it's really easy. All you need to do is cut out lots of squares and lots of triangles. So I'm going to do, I think, some blue houses and some green houses. So I've cut out some blue squares and some green squares, and I've also cut out some, oopsie, these are stuck together, some green triangles that I'm going to use for the roof, and some blue, oh, those are squares. I need to cut out some blue triangles for my houses. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. To make things easy, I'm going to get a long strip of tissue paper in the colour I want for the roof, and then I'm going to fold it up in a square shape like this lots of times. And this is going to mean I have lots of triangles all at once, so it's going to save me lots of time. I fold it up like that, and then I take my scissors and I'm going to snip a triangle shape like that. If you're not sure how to do a triangle, you could ask somebody to draw a triangle for you on the tissue paper, and then you could cut it out. Make sure you snip the bottom as well so that they don't get stuck together. And then when we open it, look, we have got lots and lots of triangles. They look perfect for my roof. So there we go. And for the background, excuse me, for the sky, here I used black triangles, and I think on this one I'm going to do a pink sky to be a bit different. So we just cut out some triangles and we put them upside down, and that will fill in the gap for the sky. Now, what's missing from my house? I think some windows. I think I'm going to do some orange windows so that it looks like the lights are on. Now, again, I'll show you a little trick so you can cut out lots of windows all at once, or in an easy way. If you just cut some strips like this of orange tissue paper, some lines, or whatever colour you like. That's the great thing about making your own lantern. You get to choose all the colours. You get to decide everything. See, I'm just going to make little snips like this. And then those will make beautiful little windows. Doesn't matter if they're not all the same size, because do you know what? Houses are not all the same size either. They're all a bit different. So, ooh, I'm having trouble picking that up, but that is going to be a little window for my house. So I think we're ready to start painting the lantern with glue. So I'm going to put a little bit of PVA glue in my container, just like that. Ooh, lovely glue. And I'm going to get my brush, I'm going to get a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to start painting the glue onto the glass jar. I might not go all the way around straight away because it might dry before I've managed to stick everything on. So I'll probably just paint half like that. And I'm going to take my square for my house and just stick it on like that all the way down to the bottom, and use my finger just to make sure that it's properly stuck down, being quite gentle because the paper is quite delicate. Then I'm going to do my greenhouse next door. They're next door neighbours. And it doesn't matter if the paper overlaps and if it goes onto the other house, that doesn't matter, because you know the light will still shine through, and it might make nice colours actually. When two colours are overlapped, sometimes you get a new colour. Okay, so I'm going to do another house next door to that one, and keep going around until it's all covered with houses. Just do a bit more glue. So much fun painting with glue, isn't it? And it doesn't need to be neat because the glue is going to dry see-through and we won't see it. There we go, another house. That looks lovely. I'm getting excited about this. Another house. I'm doing a pattern. I'm doing green, then blue, then green, then blue. Because I think that looks nice. But again, you do whatever you'd like to do, okay? Do you know, if you didn't have tissue paper, you could also make this with newspaper. That would still look quite cool. There we go. A little greenhouse. I wonder how many more I'm going to have to do. I think maybe 3. I think we'll do another blue and then another green. Put that blue house there. That looks nice. I'd like to live inside that one. Bit more glue. And there we go. If you find that your some of your squares aren't sticking very well, you can always put a bit of glue on top of it as well, and that just helps it stay on there. Shall I do one more house? I think I'll just leave a space. Okay, now for the roofs. Let's do a bit more glue, like so. I'm doing this a little bit quickly so that I can show you, but you can take a lot more time on your lantern if you're enjoying it. You don't need to rush. Let's stick the roofs on. So, a blue roof for the blue house, and green roof for the greenhouse. It's not a greenhouse that you grow plants in. It's just a house that's the colour green. Okay. Oh dear, look at me. I'm getting triangles stuck to myself. There we go. There we go. That one is not quite in the right place, but it doesn't matter, you know. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's still going to look really beautiful when we put the little light inside and it shines through. There we go. What else do I need? Green here. Yeah, it's a bit tricky when you start getting glue on your fingers, because then the tissue paper starts sticking to your fingers. But like I said, sometimes you can just smooth it down with your brush like that. It doesn't matter if it's creased, it doesn't matter at all. Let's pick up another roof there. And the last one, the last green triangle roof there. I'm getting very sticky. There we go. Smooth it down. Beautiful. Okay, they're looking wonderful. What a colourful street. I think we'll do the sky next. So we'll just fill in some glue in these gaps between the roofs. Most of it's already covered in glue actually. I've done quite a good job with my glue. There we go. Now we're going to take some of these triangles. Remember these ones go upside down, so the point goes down and the big bit is at the top. And that just fills in the gap between the roofs and it makes it look like the sky. There we go. Sometimes the sky is pink in the evening time when the sun is going down. So this one might look like at evening time. You can do any colour you like for the sky. You could do blue, you could do red, orange, or you could even leave it empty if you want. Nearly there. There we go. Yes, just putting some big glue on top just to help them to stick because they weren't sticking very well. Oops. And again, doesn't matter if it's not quite in the right place. If there's a little gap like that, that's fine. Oh, I've run out of pink. So I'll come back in a minute when I've finished that. Okay, now we've finished doing the houses and the roofs and the sky. We just need to put on the windows. So I'll just do a little dab of glue and then I'll put a little square on the house. That is a window. And here we have the finished lantern. Some of the windows are upstairs and some of the windows are downstairs. And I think it looks great. So now, what is missing from this lantern? That's right, the light. So I hope that you've all received a little LED tea light like this in the post. You just need to pop it on with the switch and then put it inside the jar. And there you have it. Look at that. The light is shining through, lighting up the beautiful colours. And we can see your design looking lovely. And that's it, finished. If you'd like to know how to make the star lantern that's covered in multicoloured stars, I'll show you a really great trick to get lots of coloured stars really quickly. So what you do is you choose the colours that you'd like. So I've chosen orange, some purple, some green and some lilac there. Cut some strips, lay all the strips on top of each other in a pile, and then just like we did with the roofs, we're going to fold all the paper into squares like this, over and over again, like a roly-poly, all the way there. And take your pen and draw your star shape on the front. If you don't know how to draw a star, you could ask somebody who does know how, if they would please very kindly draw a star for you. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to cut out the star shape, and you will see it's going to be amazing when we open this tissue paper. You won't believe it. We are not just going to have one star, not even just 2 or 3. Wow, look, can you see? Can you see how many stars we're going to have? All those different colours. Let's keep going. Remember to keep hold of it with your thumb, so that they don't slide around, because then they won't all be the same shape. There we go. Last little bit. There we go. Now let's see. Ooh, I think they might be stuck together a little bit. There we go. coloured stars, so many. Isn't that so pretty? Wow, we've got some that are stuck together, but that's okay because they just look like they're best friends and they can still go on the jar like that. So hopefully you've managed to make a beautiful lantern. Please send us a picture of what you've made. We'd love to see. And whenever you look at your lantern, I hope you remember that Jesus is the light of the world. Light is amazing for us. Have you ever been in a dark room and you fell over something and you hurt yourself because you couldn't see and you tripped on something on the floor? So much easier if you turn the light on and you can see what's there, and if there's something in the way you can step over it. Sometimes without light we feel a bit scared in the dark. Maybe you've been in a dark room and you saw a shape and you weren't sure what that was, and then you turned the light on and you saw, oh, it's nothing to worry about, it was just a chair or it was just the wardrobe. So light's amazing, helping us not to feel scared and helping us see the way to go. And you know that Jesus does all those things for us. He helps us see the way to go and he helps us not to feel scared. And he says in John's Gospel, Jesus says, I am the light of the world, and whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. So I hope you remember those words when you look at your lantern. And if you like, you could give your lantern away to somebody as a present and tell them the message of Jesus. That would be a lovely thing to do this Christmas. So I hope you have a wonderful time, and I miss you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.